So I'm on cloud nine. I'm coming off a victory on stream against Will Anderson, the defending champion. I'm in fourth place. If I win out, I'll be in the top two. I might win a nationals. What the heck is going on? And I'm just trying to soak in the moment. Also, just try and figure out what the heck is going on. And before this game, some official for the tournament, I can't remember which one, comes up to me and hands me a tax form, basically saying, you might win so much money at this tournament that we're going to have to file it with the U.S. government. You're going to have to pay taxes on it. And as soon as that happened, I knew I was cursed. As soon as that happened, I can't remember who it was, but I remember saying, "Why would you give this to me right now?" Because I just knew. That's it. You've jinxed it. Everything's ruined. And you try and get out of those mindsets, but at the same time, it just feels like one of those storybook kind of things. Like, as soon as they handed me the tax form, I was dead. Anyway, I've drawn another game against Carl, who obliterated me earlier this tournament in a sad and depressing game. But I'm going to do my best. I got to win this game and probably win out to have any shot. Carl's one of the people I'm trying to take a seat away from, so it's especially important that I beat somebody like him. EEHKSVW is my response to his opening booing. Not a fun rack, not a good position you want to be in, but, Carl bingoed, I think, with one or both blanks at the beginning of the last game we played, so that's better. A couple options to think about here. There's View, maybe. There's Weak, and then there's Hauk. And looking back, I always tend to prefer keeping consonants to vowels, but I think I overestimated how nice SHV was. Like, those letters felt like they went together okay to me, but Quackle doesn't seem to like the leave as much as I did, and it seems to be okay with EESV. And if you run a simulation on this, Hauk ends up rising to the top by a fairly hefty margin, 4 or 5 points. It's even more than that on this sim right now, but I bet if we give it a little bit more time, let those iterations get up. I did this before, and Weak ends up several points behind. Honestly, not sure why I chose to play Weak over Hauk. Hauk is also more defensive. It sets up my S pretty nicely. I hook the S behind it alone. I get 12 points or something on that, 14 points. So I'm confused. Hauk is pretty objectively a better play, and I played Weak for some reason, and I can't tell you why. It could be mental fatigue. It could be I misestimated how good HSV was, but that's pretty bad. You don't want to make a mistake on the first turn, like a blunder unforced. Carl ends up coming back with Fet, and I pull DDHIRSV. So I really wish I had held those E's now. But alas, we didn't. And not a ton of options when you don't really have any vowels. There's Shiv right here. You can do something like Dish. What I decided to do was Hid. And I think, it really nicely sets up my S, so I can come across at 12-1 next turn with Beths and, Vars or so anything I pull, really. I'm probably not bingoing next turn unless I pick up a bunch of vowels, but at least I'll score pretty well, a lot of the time in that spot. And sure enough, Hid does end up dominating in a sim here, so I think it was the right idea to do. Carl comes down with a Ginshul for 62, so that's, fine. It's a high prop bingo, and experts hit those. So that's where we are. DNRSVWY is my pull. So no vowels. And I've got to choose now. Do I play wins for 48 in the spot that I set up? Or do I hold on to the S for another turn and play windy now? And I went back and forwards on these for a while. I just felt like if I played something like wins, I cash in my best tile, my S, for 48, and then Carl gets to make an easy play down here. All kinds of stuff plays down there. I don't know, just ploy or some random word, and that's basically the same score, possibly even more. Maybe a little bit less, but in any case, he's probably going to score a lot back too. So I decided to take the easy to hit spot now with Windy and knock it off, because Carl can't play over here unless he's got an S. And I do have an S, so that's what I decided to do. I ran a long sim on this, and Quackle put wins ahead by a point, but really not much at all. And I feel okay with Windy after the fact. But, if you told me you think wins is a better play, I totally understand. I could see that. Carl comes back with eulogia as a natural through the L, and it's like, are you freaking kidding me? AAEIOUG, and you get 72. Okay, okay, but Carl's just having like the tournament of his life. He ends up finishing top two at this nationals. He almost won. Like, and when you're having the tournament of your life, AAEIOU bingos for you, or AEEIOU or whatever. So that's how Carl comes back, and it's like, well, all right, that happens. HRRSSVZ is my pull. So like, oh god. And I ended up playing SH here, and looking back at this game now, I hate this play. I think I was concerned about Carl getting to play down there for a lot, but I'm down by 100 points. I need this spot at the bottom to stay open. And unless he has like an NT or an NS word or RT or something, it's actually pretty tough for Carl to come back and block on the bottom. He's going to need like a T or an S or maybe an H. He just doesn't come down too often and take out that spot. It's a big concern for him, yes, but I need to leave it there and make him have the stuff to warrant blocking it. So I think I should have come back and just played something like this, or maybe I even should have like exchanged on this turn, because it's hard to see myself having a chance to come back and win this game after I cash SH right here. Maybe I score 50 with the Z here, and then I bingo, and I've got a chance, but I don't like doing this in hindsight. But it's what I did. I can't tell you exactly why. And then Carl comes back with overran. So that's like 3 baby bingos in a row. A gential is what, probability number 600. Eulogia is 322. And overran, he's really reaching down in the probability. He hits a 2,586 on the probability. So just 3 baby bingos back to back to back. And actually, if you're keeping score at home, at this point, Carl has bingoed as many times as I have drawn a vowel in this game. I've only got 3, 2 in weak, 1 in hid, no vowels this turn, no vowels this turn. So hard to beat Carl Johnson when he bingos more than you get vowels. But alas, that's Scrabble, the game we love. ORRSSVZ is my pull. So I do have a 4th vowel. Does that mean Carl has a 4th bingo? Maybe. I end up cashing zeros for 48. And maybe you play 0 here instead and set up a spot to bingo starting with an S for like 1,000 and make him. I don't think so. I think you just score 48 and hope. Carl makes a nice little play, a cute one here. He plays car top, which is a fun word that is an adjective, so no car tops. And I held it for a while because I was like, what the heck? What is car tops? But I knew this rack. I knew captors was just captors. So Carl's so good at words, I figure he knows what's up. He knows this random 6. There's no reason for him to take the chance on car top when he has captor in the same spot. So I let it go, but kudos to Carl for showing off word knowledge there. EJMRSTV is my pull, so nothing much to think about here. You just play Jets for 58, and I did. Carl crushes this spot down at the bottom, Fano for 46. Not much is going to play underneath Eulogia, but eventually that F was going to come out. That's about the only threatening tile that plays down there, and he beat me to it. ADMNRVX is my pull. And really, I'm stuck with 2 options here. I can play Vox, which I think is like the main play, or I can play Max instead. And Max, odds are Carl ends up just playing on top at 1M, some stupid stacky play. Or if he's got one of the 5 unseen eyes, he plays something with MAXI going down. But I think I'm at a point in this game where I just have to like get really desperate that maybe Carl can't do any of those things, or Carl has to block this spot, and then I draw into a double-double through the R or something. I don't really know how I win this game at this point. If I play Vox, I think Carl just blocks the R in the 5 row, and it's game over. So, I don't know. I can't tell you what to do. I'm not very good at losing by 120 and trying, or 110 and trying to sneak out a game. I tried Max just to see what would happen. And Carl plays QI for 46. Doesn't really have to think, gets to knock out the spot, and scores 46 in the process. I mean, that's probably what happens after Max, but I think there's just not a lot I do in this game to win at this point. I actually get super lucky, and after max and my kind of crappy leave, I still end up pulling bingos. And I've actually got two. Enerved plays down here for 66, and then Redriven plays up here for 74. And I wonder which one I should actually do. Because if I play Enerved down here, I could also play it one spot over, get a couple more points. But if I play Enerved here, that forces Carl to address the new line I've made down the O column or through the E in the N column. And then maybe I can sneak into a double-double next turn with one of the two unseen blanks. Or maybe I play Redriven now. Now, the 5 row is also easier to hit. There's just a lot more flexibility and space. So looking back at this, I think maybe if I had thought really, really hard, I should have played Enerved to give myself the best chance. Yeah, it hurts my spread chances probably, but helps my win percentage. But I didn't. I played Redriven. I guess I was thinking I could come back either on top or underneath that R in bingo, so it's okay. Maybe it's just more points, and I'm grabbing the points. That's what I decided to do, and then Carl plays Tenacula for 64 through the N that I did not use, and that's basically game over. Still, neither blank is out when those bingos come down, and I actually ended up drawing one, but I drew a bunch of garbage to go with it, ILLOUY blank, so Jill comes down, because what else do you do? And then Carl blocks the only remaining line. Now, I don't know the hooks on Tenacula at all. I'll look it up for you. Tenacula takes literally nothing. I think it might take an S. It might take an E. It might take an R. I really don't know what it takes. And I'm sure Carl does. Carl is a word machine. So, but I don't see a way I win this game. Even if I try and open a bingo line, you look at the unseen pool and it's BEIORSTU blank. Like almost no matter what Carl has, he's going to bingo unless the blank is in the bag. So even if I try and do something crazy and open up a bingo line like, with AI or something, I'm just going to get bingoed on and lose. I guess I could try AI and then he doesn't want to bingo because he opens up a triple and a triple. I don't know. But I ended up just trying to play Mousy and Tenacula, and then Carl challenged it off because Tenacula has no hooks, and he knows that. And then Carl fishes a U right here. I don't know what he kept, but when he's fishing like this, he's probably got the blank. And honestly, I don't know what happened next. I just have a huge scribble on my score pad because I got so frustrated at this point. And I know I tried another word with Tenacula. I don't know what exactly that word was, but I think I put an E back there somehow, and something like mode. I'm sure it wasn't mode. I'm sure it hold better tiles than that, but it also got challenged off, so I just lose another turn. And then Carl fishes a B right here to empty the bag. So my rack, again, is DIMOUI, and you can see over here he's got EIORST blank, and he's going to bingo if there's any line. Of course, there are no lines. He blocked all the lines, and he's now shown me that Tenacula has no hooks, probably. So I'm just kind of dead at this point. I did lose the 2 turns at the end. I don't know that it mattered too much. I think really the big mistake I made was weak on the first turn, was tactically very poor, very weak, and then SH was just why would I do that? Of course I'm going to get killed after I play SH, even with all the breaks. I hit the J, I hit the X, I hit the Z, I bingoed, and I still couldn't catch back up. I needed more volatility on the board, and I took it away with SH. So I actually got the end game right. I played Mold here because that left me with Yogi as an outplay, and then Carl finds something really nice. He hits Trooper right here for 31, which is pretty. And Carl's a very good player, not taking anything away from him. And I go out with Yogi, and that's it. It's a 100-point game, but it felt like a whole lot more than that. I just never really felt like I had a chance in this one, too. But that's okay. It's because I got that tax form. Not my fault at all. Okay, my fault a little bit. I could have played better in this one. But that's game 27 against Carl, and all of a sudden the dream is deflating. Maybe if I pull out the next 4 games, I can sneak in to the finals. And I'm paired with Alec in the game after this, so it's going to be a huge one. Anyway, we'll see how that one goes.